Hey guys, ending things off. My last couple videos a little on the weird side, but I'm doing this on my phone this time because my GoPros keep giving me issues. I don't know what the deal is. If you watched the corvair video, you probably saw that there was a glitch, and it would record my audio but no video. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm gonna spin this around and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what's going on with it. All right, so I got the corvair, and people were very good about correcting me from being a 66 to a 64 and so on and so forth. I ended up trailering it home for a couple of reasons. One is the exhaust came off and it was just kind of spitting, sputtering, and kind of shooting some flames down at the ground. And I noticed that the front tank is leaking pretty bad. So I put 5 gallons in and it all leaked out in a matter of 15 minutes. And with the back carburetor leaking down right above where the exhaust was, it was just set up for disaster. Like I said, I'm not going to work on it until the S10 is out of the garage, ready to go. And a big thing too is that I did not get a title. It was abandoned, and I'm going through the title making process for it. And I don't want to stick any money into it until I know I can get it in my name. So then we're going to go back to the S10 because I know I talked a little bit about different things I was going to do, and all kinds of different things have happened and changed. But we're going to go through that really quick. So I'm back in the garage. Got the S10 here. I got a couple sets of grills now. I got a nice factory style, and I got this one, which is repop, and I got it really cheap. And I plan on just painting this like, I don't know if I'm going to go with like, not a flat black, but not like a really high gloss black. Like a matte black or a high gloss black, because I got the whole front clip back on. And everything's all painted up nice and looking real good. And I started my electrical wiring, but I'm still having a few issues. I have headlights, and I have turn signals, and I have hazards, but I do not have any running lights when I click the switch. And I don't know what's going on there, but I bought a brand new switch, and I'm still having the same issues. So right now I'm just trying to track everything down. I'm not sure if they have other relays or anything to look out for. But I changed out from the factory steering wheel to an aftermarket one. I got this one at the Iola swap meet. I got a handful of relays here so I can start wiring everything up. I got to order my fans. Long story short, if you noticed, which you probably didn't because I post videos so far apart, I got a different radiator in here. And the radiator I had was for an A-body, and that's sitting off in the corner yet. That's still a good radiator, but I actually ended up buying a set of long tube headers for this, which you can see here, and they're junk. That's my fault, not the guy I bought it from, and not Hedman's fault. But what I did not know is that you cannot have these engines all the way forward on the engine plate like I have mine, because they will hit the back of the frame really bad. You have to run an oil filter relocation kit, which the guy was kind enough to throw in. And I also found out you have to run a different starter, where the start solenoid has to be on the bottom of the block. So I'm going back to my original style of exhaust, just the shorties. But he gave me this radiator at no cost for free for giving him asking price and everything. So this is like a high dollar radiator. Think of it like that. And I'm hoping it works, which it should. But yeah, I got everything painted up nice, both sides. I started my electrical wiring. I asked if you're part of some Facebook groups. I asked the easiest way to hide my wiring harness goes, and they say to come straight out into the fender, have it come around, and then it hooks over to the outside. I still got to clean the loom up a little bit, but I'm kind of getting everything figured out first before I get too carried away. I got all new headlights that I also got from the Iola swap meet. I have LED bulbs inside the clear marker lights down here, and they're a switchback. So that way when you just flip your switch on, it'll act like a fog light, it'll be bright white, and then when you turn your signal on, it'll switch over to an amber color flash. If that's something you're interested in, I got them off of Amazon. You can probably stop the video there, and that's what I'm going to be using. I don't know if they work yet. I've seen videos of people using them, and they look pretty sweet. I'm trying it out. Last time, I had the repop fenders on here. I got the factory fenders back on it, just that way everything matches. And we're on to the final assembly. Everything is coming together really nice. I just got that electrical gremlin for the running lights before I put the entire grill assembly back together for the last time, hopefully. Start aiming my headlights, whatnot. I do have to buy 2 fans. Ironically enough, that this radiator is about 22 or 23 inches wide last time I checked. And it's about 12 inches tall. From top of the fins to the bottom of the fins, not including this lip here. And I'm thinking 2 10-inch fans, stagger them slightly, and I won't have to run a fan shroud just because it'll cover, I'd say, about 85 to 90% of the radiator, and I think that's going to be enough cooling power. Real quick, as far as electrical goes, as long as I'm talking about that a little bit, I went through the video of what all these wires are. These are your main wires that you're going to need for a V8 swap. The purple wire, which goes to your start solenoid, that's your crank signal. Your pink wire, which is your key on power, which sends power to your distributor, your HEI unit, your coil, whatever you're using as far as like MSD or stock style. That's your key on power. And then you have these other 2 wires that have these fusible links built right in them. So that way if it gets too much power, it'll just burn these out instead of burning the truck down. I've had a harness go up in flames on me before because I cut these out. I didn't know what they were. And it burned me before. So keep those in there, guys, and shorten your wires up farther back. But anyway, that's going to go to the alternator. And then you always had this one random red wire that ran up to the power distribution block. And I'm not running that because you can find any late 80s GMC or Chevy truck at junkyards. They're popping up everywhere. They actually have these really nice power distribution blocks, and you put power at one of them, and they always had them on this double nut one. They always had a really big 10 gauge wire or a bigger wire, which I guess would be a smaller gauge, and that would power everything else up. So I'm going to be going that route. I have a few of those left. I know I talked about a Hyperglow LED underglow kit. I did go ahead and get all that installed, and it goes around the entire length of the entire truck. And the guy makes all his brackets and everything, and the loom turns out really nice, and it looks really cool. I guess I could show you quick before, but before I do that, here's what I'm doing with the exhaust. I made this last weekend, and somebody commented on another video asking me about if I'm still going to do like the NASCAR style exhaust. And a lot of people think that to get a NASCAR to sound like NASCAR, it's a boom tube. Which, if you look at Stapleton Auto Works YouTube channel, he goes through and explains how it's more of the X pipe than the actual boom tube. And the tighter the X pipe, the higher pitch it's going to sound, because if you look at people that flipped in the 90s for the IROC series, they never had boom tubes. It was just a really tight X pipe and then just went straight out both sides of the car. This is going to be kind of the same style. So I bought 2 UJ bends from Summit Racing that are 2.5 inch. I was able to use the J part of the bends and just cut and welded straight onto my shorties. And they both come down underneath the truck. They're pretty level. I'm pretty happy with it. And I just welded on some V-bands. That'll just help make that a lot simpler and cleaner. And that way you don't have to reach up around in the engine bay. And you could, one person would be able to change out the exhaust if they wanted to pretty easily. As far as the U part of it, not the U, yeah, the U part. it came with a 180-degree bend. I took one section from each pipe and I made it work. And I'm curious to see how well this is going to turn out, how it's going to sound, so on and so forth. I know my welds are not the best, but you know what? It's sealed up. I am not a welder, and I'm just getting better the more I do this, so on and so forth. But as far as underglow kit, I know I said I was going to go step by step and show everybody exactly everything that's going on with it, but let me get this set up. But the big part is that my GoPros, when I was going through the whole process, they were glitching out on me. And that's no good. So I'm switching over to my phone. And if anybody ever wants to see anything specifically, just let me know. I got the multicolor kit. So it comes with this fancy controller. You also have an app on your phone that's got the color wheel. I'm pretty happy with it. I see a lot of different aftermarket LED kits you can get on like Amazon, eBay, whatnot. A lot of people are happy with them. But if you're going to spend the money, this guy does wonders. Look him up. I think he only does Facebook. It's Hyperglow. But he advertises where there's not going to be an inch for around the entire rig that will not be lit. So I'm going to show you. I like the green color just because that's me. But turn the light off. And that thing is bright. But yeah, you can see there's not an inch of uncut light. It just kind of glows all the way around. And then yeah, you have all your different colors. You got blue, aquas, all that stuff. Here's kind of a quick, so that's green. I don't know where my hands are on this. Getting to be a little more blue, a color strobe, so on and so forth. Let's see, I can't see remote here. Turn that light back on. But let's go fade 7. Fade 7. So this is going to be your 7 main colors there. If this is something you're interested in, it was about a 6-month wait time before he was able to get this kit built. And he does them for Blazers, S10s, Silverados, you name it, he can make it for you. He just needs some measurements and he can figure out how to make it work. So on and so forth. So there's that. The brakes are done. But if you look, I got this Willwood distribution block to a factory master. And the issue here is that this was set up for a disc drum. And I'm switching over to a disc, which is why I thought I could get away with the adjustable proportioning valve, being where I could just open it up and let a lot more fluid flow to the rear end. But with the master already being set up for a disc drum, it's not sending enough volume of fluid through for the drums, which are now disc in the back. So I'm going to shut this off. So on and so forth. So there's that. But this is how I'm gonna end off this video. If anybody knows if there's any other relays, or I don't even know where to go from here. I don't have parking lots. I have headlights, taillights. I don't even have hooked up right now, but I've never tried these before since I owned it. I don't know if they used to work. But I have no parking lights. Turn signals work, flashers work, hazards work, but you flip the switch and I got nothing. Yeah, we're gonna end it off there. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's starting to be fall time here and I'm working pretty quickly at this and it shouldn't be too crazy long. I'm going to be taking a lot more videos on my phone, so I should be able to start pumping these videos out a little bit quicker. I know I've been saying that for like the last dozen videos that I'm going to be pumping these out faster, but I've always had issues with the GoPros and I don't know what the deal is. I have multiple of them and I've just been having problem after problem with all of them. If you want to see anything specific, let me know. I'll make a real quick video and I'll aim it more towards anything you want to see. As well as if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I'm pretty good about answering those pretty quick. So hope you guys enjoyed. It's a nice quick little update on both the Corvair and the S10. Hopefully it'll get running soon. And I'm still waiting on parts. That's the big one. Like I was talking with Dakota Digital on the dashboard, so that's going to get changed out to one of those. Eventually, they said they're 18 to 20 weeks out, so that's kind of crazy to me because that's going to be pretty much springtime. But I can get this up and running and moving around under its own power. I can just run a mechanical oil pressure gauge along with the mechanical coolant temp, and just kind of for moving around the yard, doing a little this, little that. I do have all the math figured out for this rear end, so I can tell what RPM I'm doing what speed. But yeah, we'll cut it off there. Catch you guys later.